Hey guys, APOC here, and we have back-to-back 12-win grand challenges this time. This deck might just be the meta killer you were looking for. Not only have I won back-to-back grand challenges, but my clanmates and friends have been winning with this deck too. This deck really does have it all. We have the Night Witch, Graveyard, Executioner with Tornado, all in a low 3.1 cycle package. This deck is just a beast in the new meta. It finally feels like the counter that was needed to take down all those Gravy Bowl, Golem, and Lava Hound decks. So let's save this chest right for the end, and let's get started with our first match. Right here we're going to see that we're going to start out against Wool Rider. Now Wool Rider is currently 132 in the world, and above 6,080. So he is quite the player himself. But let's get into our matchup. Okay, so he is playing a kind of a variant of my deck, but he has a little bit of a higher curve than mine does. So we're going to open up with our Ice Spirit at the bridge. He does sacrifice his skeletons to that, so no chip damage there, unfortunately. Okay, so he opens up with his Executioner in the back. I'll go with my Night Witch on the other side, as we want to avoid his Executioner, as that is the hard counter to Night Witch. So we'll start our push with our Ice Golem plus our Night Witch and Graveyard. We can just surround his Executioner with our Skeletons plus Ice Spirit for a nice positive trade. And we'll get some chip damage on the tower with our bats here at the end. And as you see, that really fast move speed of the bats gets them to the tower fast. Okay, so we will start up right again. This time with our Executioner on his baby dragon. And cycle right back to another Graveyard. So his Executioner locked onto our Ice Golem, and then we do a fantastic Tornado, pulling everything in right in front of the tower, beating down that Executioner real quick. And we can just use our Ice Spirit to clean up his baby dragon to end that, and then we can use our Executioner to clean up. And just like that, his tower is basically in 2 poison range. Compared to us, our towers are still nice and healthy. And he's not very happy with me. I'm sorry, he's not very happy with me. So he's a little desperate here, getting in some pushes. As you see, we start with our Ice Golem. Our Ice Golem cleans up those bats, and then we can just use our Skeletons and Ice Spirit to finish up. And really the only damage he gets here is 1 bat hit plus the poison. And then we can just go with a naked Graveyard, and that's going to bring this all the way down to 13. So at this point, all we really have to do is defend. So we can use our Executioner plus our Ice Golem. So we were taking a little bit too much damage as his Tornado did a very good job pulling our Executioner out of place. So we had to poison down his. Now really what we're going to do, since now we're in a bit of trouble, we're going to hurry up and push the other side since he dropped his Executioner. We're going to force him to defend. Make sure that he can't get back to another poison. So then we can just use our Skeletons and Ice Spirit to clean up, and then our Ice Golem to finish the tank to make sure that we don't take any of that Graveyard damage. So it did get a little bit closer than we wanted to at the end, but we were able to finish it off. And it's a very good game by Wool Rider right there. So next up, we are going to face Gracio. Gracio is playing another giant Night Witch Graveyard deck. This is another very popular deck that I've been seeing in the new meta. So once he has already committed his Night Witch, we committed our Ice Golem, and now we'll follow that up with our Executioner. Executioner is a great counter to that Night Witch, and you'll see it beat her down real fast. So we're going to use our Skeletons right here in front, and then we can start our own Graveyard push. as we have a couple extra skeletons to start helping, and his E-Wiz is locking onto skeletons instead of our Executioner, and we're able to take off over 1,000 damage just right on this first push. Plus that Executioner for him not to even have a counterattack against us. So once again, this time he'll start with his Giant in the back. We'll start with our Night Witch in the back. This way we can start building up some skeletons. This way we can get plenty of damage up on his Giant. And then we'll start with our Executioner here, so that we can go with an Executioner Tornado at some point, hopefully. So we'll pull that Giant back, we'll pull those skeletons away from the tower, and our Executioner is just barely up, but our Night Witch is still very healthy over here. That was a mistake on that Ice Spirit, but that's okay. So as you see, we have some bats coming in. We have the skeletons already on that tower, and those bats are still beating down his tower. And just like that, that tower is all the way down to 4, which really is a great situation for us, as we want to be able to start attacking the next tower without having to worry about the King Tower being active. So we'll take a little bit of a positive trade here on his Night Witch, just using our Ice Golem plus the skeletons. And we're going to start our next push now. So we'll get our Ice Spirit going. Ice Spirit can tank a couple hits. So we will use our Tornado to start pulling everything back. And as you see, our Executioner's doing work on the other side. And we're already back with our second Tornado on the defense. All of his troops are currently dead, and our Night Witch is just beating down his Giant. And our Ice Golem was actually able to explode down the other side. So first tower is down, second tower is just outside of poison range. And he's going in for another push, so we will Tornado that back out, Tornado away, so that all those skeletons wind up getting pulled away. Unfortunately, he was still able to take this. So we will just have to go for another graveyard ourselves, and we can just use a quick little tank of our Ice Golem, Tornado everything in, and then we can just poison down for a nice 2-to-1 victory. And then finally, let's hop into our 12-win match versus Jandro. So this is a good sampling of the decks that you should expect to face if you're playing in a Grand Challenge. So right here you'll see I'm facing Jandro. He's going to be playing a Golem deck. Now we can't really punish his pump right away, as we didn't have poison or graveyard in hand, so we got to really set up a push here. Unfortunately, as soon as we placed our Night Witch, we learned that he already has Executioner, so that's not really the start we were looking for. So this is going to be a little bit rough to start. So we're going to get our Executioner on his right away, and then we can start the Tornado. Tornado makes our Executioner kills his plus the Knight. Now all of a sudden we have our graveyard already set up, and our Executioner is going to start working on this Night Witch. Night Witch is going to walk back, and he had to use a defensive poison. That wasn't ours. So we can use our Ice Golem on his Night Witch. This will allow us to get a nice trade over here, and then hopefully now we can get caught back up as we can finally poison his pump. As you see, we are down a huge amount of elixir here, as he has a Golem and 2 mostly dead pumps and basically the same elixir as us. So we got a lot of defending to do here. So Golem down, Executioner, Night Witch down, all on his side, and all we have is our lonely Executioner. But our Executioner has his favorite partner, the Tornado. So we are going to use our Ice Golem to tank and spank, and then we can use our skeletons to keep that Executioner off our tower, and then finally we can use our Night Witch to clean up. So we did wind up taking a lot of damage here, unfortunately, but we are finally caught up in elixir, and we are no longer down, which is the very important part here. So he cycles back all the way to his Executioner. So we're going to Graveyard. And why are we going to Graveyard here? Because the Graveyard is going to surround his Executioner and not make it work right. So basically, he gets poisoned. He throws it at like one skeleton at a time. And as you see, we got some damage. We killed both his Night Witch and his Executioner because his Executioner wasn't properly placed for a Graveyard. So I do like to do that very frequently. If you see that Executioner or boulders down and you can surround it with the skeletons, you know, your skeletons will kill it. So he has another defensive poison here. Our poison's on his golem and his tower, as well as our Executioner is killing down his golem, and we're going to set up our second one. So we're going to pull this all back and start getting our hits on. We're going to tank and spank and keep his Executioner off of ours. And just like that, his golem is down. His Night Witch is up, now fighting our skeletons, but we still have our Executioner. And just like that, we are all the way down to 312. We are down to 282, so we got to get this going before he can poison us out. So we get our another Graveyard, another poison, and just like that, take it down. So for a nice 1-0 victory, that was well played by Jandro. But that was another 12 win for us. So let's hop into that chest opening. Let's see what we get. So we got 22,000 gold, always needed, especially with all the upgrades I have. A nice 1 zap, thank you, that's exactly what we wanted, right? Followed up by 1 ice spirit, what could be better? Okay, 4 goblin huts, 13 Valkyries. Finally some battle rams. Bomb towers. Okay. Nice. Barbarian huts. Wizards. Okay, there's our first epics in 5 freeze. 426 Royal Giants. Gonna be converted to a lot of gold. Lots of Spear Goblins also to be converted to gold, and Supercell. What are you doing? Can't we get some legendaries out of these? You guys are killing me here. So, let's see what epics we got. 6 Expos, not too bad. Expos is a card I would love to max out. So, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. If you guys would like to see your deck in one of my videos, why don't you comment your deck in the description below. I'm going to start trying to test out some of the videos that some of my subscribers play. So, make sure you share that. Thank you guys once again. Peace.